All right, good morning, everybody. It's May 11th. So what you see here on my chart is I had jumped into a position in TVIX over the weekend, held it over the weekend, looking for the possibility of the market pulling back a little bit this morning when it opened, and hopefully get a little bit of a rally and make some money on it. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. It looks like we might just end up with commissions plus a few bucks. But we'll see what happens here. So we got that in. So that's working. And in the meantime, we're looking for a simple switch algorithm trade to set up, and then we'll be back when that happens. All right, so we didn't get that rally I was hoping for right at the open. It went up nice pre-market, but I just couldn't hold. So we're out with $11 on it. So yeah, at least we're starting the day with some profits, starting the week with some profits. Give us a little buffer, and we'll come back when we get a trade for the simple switch strategy. All right, so our algorithm has switched to the long side. So we've jumped into this trade. So basically, I don't have to look at chart patterns or support resistance or trend lines or anything. All I got to do is see if this algorithm switches, and when it does, it tells me exactly where to get in, and it tells me exactly where my stop is and my targets. And that's it. I just jump in the trade and do what it tells me. All right, so it looks like we might get stopped out here. And if we do, no big deal. Which makes it easy because, I just basically, the algorithm switches, tells me when to get in, tells me my stop, my targets, all that stuff. I don't have to do anything. Just put in the numbers, trade what it tells me, and that's it. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out because I know that over the long run, I get, an 80 to 90% success with this. And I know that I'll be green with this particular stock if I just keep on trading it. So it just it takes a little bit of the motions out of it. It's more of just hit the button, see if any money comes out, hit it again and again and again until money comes out. So and with 8 out of 10 winners, it's pretty sweet. All right, here we are coming into our stop again. It's one of the hard things about trading at home. You got little ones. All right, there we go. So we're stopped out for a $139 loss on that one. Oof, that's a pretty big loss, but it was expected because I knew, before I even entered the stock, I knew what my risk was. I knew what the share size I was getting. I knew what the reward was, and I knew what the loss would be based on all those parameters. So yeah, it's another good thing about the algorithm is before you get into the trade, you know what you're risking and all that stuff. So it makes it a little bit easier. You're not surprised at the end, and you can get in with share size that is comfortable for you. So all right, so moving on, looking for another opportunity. All right, so here we are. The algorithm has switched. Again, I don't need to worry about chart patterns or support, resistance, or any of that stuff. All I need to look at is if the algorithm has switched. So algorithm has switched, and then it tells me the price at which I'm going to get in, and then I can see what my stop is, so I know what my risk management is, and all that stuff's right here. And then I'll jump in, and I'll have all the numbers right there, so it'll be really easy for me to trade. So I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to know candlestick patterns, and I don't have to spend all this time with complicated chart reading or subjective views or anything like that. I just look at the switch and then do what it says, and 8 out of 10 times it's going to be right. So yeah, we'll be jumping in this as long as this confirms. We'll be in. I got permission, so as long as it confirms, we'll be in this trade in about 45 seconds. Okay, we got 9 seconds. It looks like this is going to confirm. If it does, we'll jump in. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're in. So we are in this trade, and then yep. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're getting to our first target now, pretty close to it. We're a penny away on the ask, couple pennies on the bid. So my low range here, 6.8. And my high range, 7.5, will be my new targets. So as soon as this breaks over this, I'm going to go ahead and put my new stop in. I could just get stopped out here and call it a 1-to-1 and be happy. It's a 1-to-1 strategy. As long as I get 1-to-1, we're good. It's kind of like the minimum. And then, but I wait for it to just break over, and then I put my stop in right away. So I'll give it an opportunity to boost. Every now and then you get lucky and it boosts, and then it keeps on running. And I'm able to tag a 2-to-1, a 3-to-1, a 4-to-1, and stuff like that. I think my record's a 5-to-1 so far. So yeah, I'll give it an opportunity to get over that, and then I'll put that stop in, and hopefully we can lock up 2-to-1 or better. Anybody who's new to trading and you're trading with Dash Trader, if it says short here and you're trying to sell it, it's because you probably have an open position already, or the share size is too big for the position you already have in the stock. Then it'll show up as short. So if you ever see that and you're like, why does it say short? I want to sell. Check your open orders, or check your share size you're getting ready to do versus the share size that you're currently in. All right, since this has made it to 90% of our way, I mean, we're literally like 1 penny away from our target. I'm going to go to move my stop to break even, and then we'll change it again when it comes time. 61. So if nothing else, this will just cost me commission. 62. All right, so we're going to cancel this. And now it says sell. All right, I'm going to take this back to 68. Oh, all right, cool. So with my day trading strategy using the simple switch and the algorithm, if it makes it 90% of the way, then I go ahead and I put in my stop at break even. And my break even is based on where the algorithm told me to get in, where the ideal entry point was, which was 561, not necessarily where I got in at. So for my students, because it's made it literally 1 penny away from hitting the target, if I wanted to get out at the close of this candle and call it a trade, that would be a good trade. No problem. Can totally do that. Which I'm not going to do on this one, but you could totally do that and get out, or you can put your stop a penny below here, so 65. I could put my stop in right there, and then call that a trade. Yeah, it doesn't look like a whole lot since I got in at 62, but the more share size you have, it makes up the difference. So 1,200 shares, almost 3 cents. It's kind of a lot on this small account. As you see here, 47 bucks right now at 66 or 67. So yeah, you could totally jump out if you wanted to, or put your stop in below there, and that would be a good trade. Or you could even take it at 67 when it's on 67 and put your order in if you wanted to. That would be a good trade. If you want to get my algorithm, you can get it over at 2020daytrader.com. You can go over there and get more information on how to get this algorithm. Okay, so we're 68. We're hitting our target right now. Looking to get above that on the bid. So if we can get 69 on this bid, then we'll go ahead and move our stop. Yep, so we'll see what happens here. So as we're waiting for it to do that, for my students that are watching, So you see I have a loss of $139 right now, but if this is a win, sorry about that. If this is a win, it'll only be, 60 bucks or so, which is way off of this price. I have two ways of trading. I have one that's a simple, simple. I have one that's a conservative scaler and one that's aggressive. On the conservative scaler, we price out our trades so that, what our wins, we have a target. So 50 bucks win loss. So that means every stock, whether I win or lose, will be 50 bucks. And if I was going that way, then this would be a $50 winner and this would only be a $50 loser, which would make this a 0 day, a break-even day, plus this little trade I had here. The other one is the aggressive scaler. So the aggressive scaler doesn't go by a base price. It goes by a difference setup. So right now I'm using the aggressive scaler. That's why you see this stock, I was able to lose 139 while only making maybe 60 on this stock over here. With the simple switch day trading strategy, basically trading the stocks, not necessarily the day. So even if this is a green trade here, which hopefully it will be a green trade, hopefully it'll be a nice green trade, but I may still have a red day on this day, but I'm trading the name because I trade the same stocks over and over and over again. So basically I'm not really looking at the day. I'm looking at how much each name gives me at the end of the month. So this name up here might give me 1,500 at the end of the month. This name down here might give me 800 at the end of the month, or whatever it is. But so kind of looking at the flow like that. So as long as I'm green on the name overall over the month, then I'm good. If I start getting red, too red, then that's when I start to get concerned. I track my trades every day to make sure that the percentage win rate is still maintaining and that the algorithm is still working with that particular stock. So, and if it's not, then we just make adjustments and refresh that stock so it can start working again, or I switch it out with a stock that's giving me a better win rate. Okay, so new candle open. Hopefully we get a little boost here and not a pullback. 68 and 70, we're at our target. So this is a winning trade right now. I could jump out, but I'm going to hang out and see if we can get a 2-to-1 out of it. Just waiting for this to click 69, 569 here. There's a lot of selling pressure. All right, I'm going to move my stop up, I think, to 66. 67, 68. So 2 pennies off the target at 66, which is a lot when you're talking about 1,100 shares, 1,200 shares. Tempted just to jump out right here and call it a win because it is a win. Looking at the level 2 with all this stacking up over here. Oh, it's all gone. So at 68, there's a lot of selling happening there. If I grab this little thing, I can scroll down and see what's still waiting at 68. Yeah, look at all that selling stacked up at 68. Makes me tempted just to bounce out here. What I'm thinking is if this, the big word if, right? You want to trade on ifs and maybes and hopes. If this gets bought up, then this thing could really fly. And it looks like it's resisting this selling quite a bit. So hanging out for a few. I mean, looking at the chart, you can see this big volume and barely did anything to that candle. All right, so we're through to 69. 68 was our target price. Sell, so I put it in. If it backs up a penny and I get out, all good. It was a good trade, but at least I gave it an opportunity to run up and boost through. Which for my students is a little bit dangerous because I've had many trades where I've done this and it's rolled over and I've gone all the way back down to break even and I lost out on the trade. So kind of a bummer when that happens. So 75, so we're going to move this if it gets close to 75 to 82. 82, and 75. All right, so if it gets close to 75, like 73, 74, I'll take my stop off, and actually I'll put it right back on for 68, and I'll just move it to here until it gets through. So, you know, I can do that right now, actually. Let me do that. All right, so now I got my stop in at 68 and at 82. So if I get a spike, because some of my stocks will spike and then they'll come back down. And if I get a spike like that, I want to be able to capitalize on it. So, and then I can always re-enter if I wanted to. So 582 is my new high target, low target 568, which is our one-to-one. We'll see what we get it. So I'm going to prepare this just in case it does make it through 575. And then we'll be ready to go. So for my students, you know, you're seeing $117 now. You're like, whoa, way better than 58 bucks or 60 bucks. You could totally take your trade right off the table right now. As long as you have a one-to-one, you're good. Anything after that is bonus money. So at any time after your one-to-one, if you want to call it, you can go ahead and call it. No problem. I'm going to wait for it to get to 575. But if you want to just pull it, you can pull it. Or if you want to give it opportunity, you know, you just put your stop, you know, a penny below where it's at, or whatever the appropriate distance is based on how much room the stock needs to breathe. And you can just trail your stop. And then, you know, if it backs up and you get out, you get out. Like right here, I have $139 as my, you know, loss on this trade. So if this one were to get to 140, it would be tempting just to pull it or put my stop in right there to lock in a green day. And that would totally be fine, because as long as I got a one-to-one on it, we're good to go. So right now, 141 is what we're looking at off of this, but I believe this is calculating off of the ask and not the bid. So this is actually 10 bucks lower than what it looks like right now. So 175, once we get to our target, then that'll be a, you know, that'll be a green day. It'll turn us into a green day if we get to our target. Well, hopefully we will. So if this candle closes, or when this candle closes, if it's below this, because this is a pretty big candle, we may get a pullback. Who knows what will happen after that? I mean, it could just flag it and go higher, or it could flag and drop. I mean, just who knows? So I may pull my trade after this, and then I can always look for another reentry. Okay, here we go. 74. 74. Come on, one more penny. One more penny. And then you're going to give me a 2-to-1 green day. Do it. If not, I may just pull my trade after this candle closes. Oh, don't do that. And again, it's really not about the day, although it looks nice to have a green day. I definitely like to see green days. I like to see money at the end of the day. So I feel like I got a paycheck today. But at the end, it's really about how many times that stock is green and how much money that stock is making me. All right, it's coming back down. Okay, new candle's opening. Let's see what this thing's going to do. Now that it pulled back already, this new candle may not pull back. Looking over at the board, see if I have anything else setting up. Nope. Okay, cool. All right, new candle didn't open. I don't know what's happening. So while we're looking at this for my students, this is one of my favorite setups actually right here. So where we have our stock is on a nice rise, and then we get a speed bump on that rise or decline, doesn't matter. The trend is happening in one direction, and then we get a speed bump in that trend, and that triggers the trade. Those are my favorite. Those are I think the highest probability setups. So when those happen, it's pretty awesome. I should have probably just took my profit. 72. I'll give it a second here. And then I may just mark it out, or put my, yeah, I may just mark it out. All right, we're going to go ahead and put 71. We'll just do it that way. Cancel, sell. All right, so if this backs up a penny, then we'll be out. Give it a chance to try to get over that 75. It could be getting rejected and pulling back, so I'm just going to put that in. If we get out, good trade. I got more than a 1-to-1 on it. Awesome. And a few of those, more than 1-to-1s or 2-to-1s easily pay for the losers that show up on this name, which is even better. Okay, so we should be getting out. Click 71 here. Probably in a queue right now, waiting to get out. Oh, good. Went back up to 72 before we got triggered, so that's cool. Come on, go boost over 75 so we can lock in a 2. Got a lot of buying coming in here at 73. This could be good. And we got a lot of selling at 75. That's not good. All right, look at this buying power coming in here. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's see 80, 82. Let's see 582. Come on, get up there. So as soon as this gets to 76, I'm going to put my stop in, even though it's only a penny and it could easily back up and get me out. But I'm going to lock in that 2-to-1 as soon as this gets to 76 here. All right, so there we go. So, 74. Come on. I just took my stop off. I hate that. All right, so let's put that back in. So, candles can drop so fast. Like you blink and it'll be all the way back down here. So every time I have to take my stop off to put the new one in, I always feel like naked for a second there. All right, come on, let's do it. 2 pennies. That's all I'm asking for, which is a lot for this stock, but come on. New candle. All right, new candle. We're at 75. So really good trade right now. But I want to give it a chance to run, but part of me says just take my 2-to-1. Looking at level 2 though, look at all these buying coming in, so I'm going to wait. If this was opposite, I would just be pulling my 2-to-1 right now and saying call it good trade. Okay. 76, 75. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sell in for 75 now. All right, so now we got a 2-to-1. So that's how it goes. So the algorithm told us how to get in, told us our stop, gave us our first target. Now we've already secured our second target. And now we're looking to our third. So we can get a 3-to-1 on this. We'll see what happens. So I'm going to move this up to 88 and 82. All right, so for my students, you can go ahead and mark your chart up now if you want to see what the next targets would be, where you might be able to just get through and then get rejected. You come down here, left click, which is all in the course, but I'm just telling you again, since you might be watching YouTube, then you drag it up. And right there is your next target, 589. Okay, so 589 is our next target. All right. So now it's really tempting just to take this trade, take my 200, and have a really nice green day here. Pays for commissions and everything. So 78. So I might 79. I might take it. All right, I'm going to move my stop to 78. Sell. And if it backs up at 78, all good. Really nice green day. And that's good to go. Good trade. Like I said, as long as I get the 1-to-1, then it's a good trade. So everything after that's bonus money. So I'll take my bonus money and lock in a green day on it. Again, I trade the name, but it feels good psychologically to have green days and see that you're getting a paycheck every day. Okay, my stop is in for 78, but we must be in the queue. Like if I wanted to, I could hit the market order and just pop out, but there we go. Okay, cool. So we ended up out with $194 on that trade, with a $139 loser. So on the day so far, we're at 66 bucks, minus commissions of like 12 bucks, something like that between the two trades. So still looking at least a $50 day. So growing this account, awesome. All right, we'll see if another trade shows up. I have had a super premium on the board, which I didn't take the trade. I should have took the trade. As you can see right here, would have been a nice 1-to-1 winner, but I didn't take it. I was monkeying with other stuff, so I missed out on that one. And then I have two other possibilities, and we'll see if either of them hit. And if they do, we'll take it. And yeah, we'll be back. But so looking at this, you can see how fast you can grow a small account using the simple switch algorithm, day trading algorithm. I also have an algorithm for swing trading and a different algorithm for the futures, 3 different algorithms. This is my day trading algorithm, and you can see just with these two names, if this had been a green day today, which very well could, 8 out of 10 of these are green, so I probably have a whole bunch of green days coming after this one. But you can see where, that could have been a really sweet day, $300 day on a $1,700 account. So is what today could have easily been. So yeah, you can grow an account pretty fast with this simple switch strategy. The other thing is with this strategy, there's not really a cap. So, some strategies, once you get to like 200,000 a year is pretty much the most you're going to make because of share size and the stock prices that works within, like small caps or whatever. Other strategies, maybe it's 500,000 or a million. But with this algorithm and strategy, you can scale it up. So right now today we traded a $5 stock and a $133 stock. So it works equally great with both those price ranges. $500 stock, no problem. $1,000 stock, no problem. So basically I can slowly scale up the stock prices that I'm playing with. Like eventually this $5 stock, I won't play with it anymore because I'm not going to try to buy 20,000 shares of it when it's only trading like, on average today is 13,000 is the average per candle. So I'm not going to try to trade 20 or 30,000 shares of this to try to make 4 or 5,000 bucks. I'll just trade more expensive stocks. So as my portfolio grows, I'll switch out the stocks I'm trading for more expensive stocks so that I can then, have a smaller share size, but more expensive stocks typically move more. So like this stock right here, we on a 1-to-1, we're looking at like 7 cents. Whereas our other stock that we traded, which is now slowly coming back, was like $2.40, right? So I can get more shares of this one as my account grows. So if I had 1,000 shares of this one, that would have been a $2,500 day. So yeah, so basically as my account grows, I'll start switching out my low price stocks for higher price stocks, and I can keep on doing that, all the way up the food chain to $500 stocks and so forth. And that'll allow me to end up, making 20,000 a day, 100,000 a day. I won't be capped out at a few $1,000 a day or 500 bucks a day or whatever, as you are with some strategies. And again, with this algorithm, you don't need to learn how to read charts at all. Zero. You don't need candlestick patterns. Zero. You don't need to worry about trends or support resistance, any of that stuff. Zero. Don't need any of that knowledge whatsoever. You just need to understand what the algorithm is telling you, which is very simple. It switches, tells me to get in, it gives me permission, tells me the price, tells me my targets, tells me my stop. Enter that information and go. Then after that trade is entered, if I didn't care about a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, I literally can leave. I can go outside, go jump in the pool, go do whatever, come back, see how this did later on. I don't have to worry about it. So, right here you can kind of see, yeah, we have the right tool on. You can kind of see a channel right here. And then we can also get our trend line tool. All right, so we have our trend. So you can see there's a channel here, another little channel forming here with this trend line. You know, a lot of technical traders might be looking at that saying, oh, if it breaks out of this channel, I'm going to jump into this thing long. I'm going to wait for a pullback and then green to break above red. And then I'm going to jump in long. You know, there's a bunch of different things technical traders look at that you have to be able to understand charts and know how candlestick patterns work and be able to read charts and all that to get that information. And then you have to say, well, where's my stop going to be if I'm wrong? And you have to do more analysis to figure out what that's going to be. And it's subjective. You know, this is a tight time frame on a 5-minute chart. But if I was zooming out, you know, where would you then put your stop? Maybe you would be jumping in now. Maybe you wouldn't be jumping in now. Maybe you would think that the resistance level was going to be right here. So that would have been your target, and you would have been out right there. You wouldn't have wanted to go for this ride. Or maybe, you know, like, there's all these subjective things. And then if I look at it on an even different timeline, some traders trade in the 30-minute or the hour. I might be like, ooh, I don't know about this stock. It's coming back to this level. It's going to get rejected off of this, which it might, 580, right? That's where it's at right now, and it might get rejected there. That's what a lot of technical traders would say. Oh, it's just filling this gap over here that it almost got filled on this day. Like, there's all this subjective stuff that you could be right, you could be wrong. And while one trader's giving you excuses and reasons why it's going up, there's another trader looking at it and saying, no, it's going down, and you know, this thing's definitely tanking. And they'll give you a whole bunch of reasons why it's going down. And that's what makes a market, is that subjective viewpoint. Depending on the time frame you're looking at, the chart you're looking at, and so forth, you can get different pictures. So, and I think that's what makes trading so hard sometimes, is that subjective view. And sometimes you see the things that you want to see. Like, I want the stock to go up so bad that I'm going to find reasons for it to go up. Meanwhile, across the table, there's another trader who wants to go down so bad, and they're finding reasons to justify why it's going to go down. And then both of them can sit there and make an equal justification for why it's going to do what it is that they think it's going to do or are hoping it's going to do. So that's I think is the hardest part about trading, is that subjective viewpoint. And I think that's where a lot of traders lose, is because sometimes they want something to happen rather than just looking at the data and seeing what is most likely to happen based on a probability. So the algorithm I created basically does a whole bunch of calculations to give you probability, and then it tells you to trade that probability. So you don't have to do all that yourself. Algorithm does everything, gives you probability, you trade the probability, and at the end of the day, I'm a winner doing that. So yeah, I try to keep it as simple as possible. So if you're a trader that already knows how to trade, like you already have your platform tools, you're solid, like you're just looking to up your game, or you know your success rate is only a 60% success rate, and I have a video on that over on my YouTube channel, 60 to 70% success. Go check it out if you're looking at those kind of strategies. I think it'll be eye-opening to you how that is, and actually how bad it really is to have a 60 or 70% success rate. So definitely check that video out. It might help you with your building your strategy, or if you're thinking about building a strategy, it might help you out a little bit. But if you're a trader that already knows what you're doing a little bit, as in I can push all the buttons on my platform and I understand how to use the tools, you can literally be trading with my algorithm the very next day. You can take my class today, and tomorrow you could be trading with it. I would trade in the sim first. Just make sure you're pushing everything, all the buttons right, and you really do understand it. And then you could be jumping right into live trading really fast. So yeah, you can learn this really, I mean, because it's so simple. You're just doing what's on the screen, what it tells you. So it makes it pretty easy. But all right, everybody, I think I'm going to shut it down for today, actually, and go outside and get some sun. All right, have an awesome day. We'll see everybody on Tuesday.